All right, so we are now in Module 11 and we're reading Chapter 13. And I feel a little bit bad because I've had to overload you in the last two modules with a fair bit of material. So instead of really drawing this module out, I'm going to try to keep it as condensed as I can, just to give you a little bit of a break because I know you've read two chapters each in the last two modules, a lot of notes and so on. So I want to point out two quick things to you. You're going to be revisiting this idea of kin selection. And I know we talked about it earlier in the course, but now that we're talking about families, we have to talk about it more in depth. And when we talked about it earlier, we talked about it in terms of inclusive fitness, and I said at the time that we're going to come back and visit it, and now is that time. So revisit that concept, know it inside out, and be able to talk about it. The other thing we'll be talking about that you should draw attention to is this idea of R versus K selection theory. And I want to reiterate one or two things right here to clarify. The first is that the R and the K don't stand for anything. So don't go, oh yeah, it's genetic relatedness or something like that. It's not, okay? So once again, the R and the K are just notation. They do not stand for anything. R versus K selection theory in a nutshell is this idea that some species are at the R extreme or near the R extreme of this spectrum. And that means that they're going to have lots of offspring, they're going to live in variable environments, and that there's a high chance of predation on those offspring. At the other end of this continuum, and I want you to think about R versus K as a continuum, you have species sort of like humans, right? Or the other great apes, where there are very few offspring, the offspring are invested in, parents to really take care of their offspring. Usually there is a long time when they're juveniles, those offspring, and there's usually lower predation rates. So, and more environmental stability. So take a look at those notes, be able to talk about R versus K selection theory, and otherwise just read through the material. I don't want to overwhelm you here, so I'll keep it short. And if you have any questions at all, do reach out. We're coming to the end of the course. I guess it's a good thing for some of you. Other ones maybe are really enjoying it. But again, if you're having any difficulties at all, please reach out. All right, take care.